Hello, good evening everyone. I am Dr. Malhar from RML IMS, Lucknow. I am a third year resident in the Department of Pharmacology, and today in this video we will be discussing behavioral model used in the experimental pharmacology. It is passive avoidance testing. This device is present just behind me. So before we start, let us briefly have a look at what type of animals we use. In this experiment, we use either mice or rats. If we are going to use mice, then we use Swiss albino. Generally, they are each mouse is weighed between 20 to 30 grams. And if we are using rats, then we can use Vistar or Sprague-Dawley rats. Weighing between 150 gram to 250 gram. The temperature in which the experiment is done is generally 22 degrees to 25 degrees Celsius. We keep 12 hours light and dark cycle, and food and water is provided to animals at libidum. That means without any restriction, and there is 5 to 7 days of acclimatization needed. That means the animal is introduced in the environment where we are going to conduct experiment, and he is exposed to the stimulus which we are going to conduct today, so that he gets acclimatized and acquaintized with the surrounding and with the experiment. So now we are going to have a look at different parts of this behavioral model and this setup. Firstly, let us start with the software which we are using, which is provided by the Pan Labs. It is called as Shut Avoid. This without this software pen drive, this Shut Avoid cannot start. Also, this is the license. This is the dongle. For now, one license can support 8 such boxes. This is called as a load cell. This is light environment, this is dark environment, this is the guillotine gate. This is automatically operated via the software. We can manually open it, or we can set an algorithm to open and close according to stimulus. Now this is the electrical grid which is present inside. This is the weight grid. This is the passive avoidance controller. This is the shocker along with the potentiometer. Now this is the timer. Now we can change it to 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 1.5.5. Okay, this is the intensity. It is generally kept between 0.2 to 0.5 milliampere. This is the which is set on calibration. Once this is on calibration, we can see now this is 0.5. I will change this to 0.6. So this is now changed to 0.6. This is now changed to 1. Now animal ethics guidelines, we are not allowed to shock the animal more than 2 amperes because we are not going to commit any sacrifices or any harm to the animal. So for that, maximum amount of shock delivered can be given is 2 milliampere. This is 1. Now this is the multiplier. This is 2. So now this becomes 2 ampere. So if it is set at 6, so that means 1.2 ampere will be given. This is at calibration. Now whenever it is kept at shock and 0.5 time is selected, let us give a shock for 2 seconds. Okay, this light should go on. So a shock was delivered for 2 seconds. This is the dark environment, and in which now by saying dark environment and light environment, whenever we are working with rodents, they have a natural tendency to move towards the darker environment. Now while they are approaching the darker environment and we give unpleasant stimulus such as a mild electric foot shock, it creates an association that dark environment and unpleasant stimulus together should be avoided. So that is how we can study memory. Both long term as well as short term memory can be studied using this model. Now shortly we can discuss what all types of drugs which we can test in this particular behavioral model. We can use nootropic drugs, we can use CNS suppressants, we can use CNS stimulants such as caffeine, depressants such as benzodiazepines. We can use drugs for Alzheimer's to check whether or not memory gain has occurred by checking certain parameters by time needed to enter into the environment, exit from the environment, step in, step through latency period, and all of those things. The main advantage of this setup is that it is easy to perform, the results are highly reproducible, and they can be quantified. The limitations of this is slight ethical consideration, given that we are giving this set of rodents unpleasant stimulus, that is mild electric shock. This whole setup is extremely costly. The whole setup, for example, this device has 4 things: the box which has a dark and light environment, the passive controller along with the shocker and potentiometer, and the software. All of this together costs anywhere between 12 to 18 lakhs. Now that we have seen the components of passive avoidance and we have had a look on which types of animals we are going to use, let's have a look at the software and what are the components. We are going to select the trial, we are going to design the trial, then place the animal in the light environment, and then start our experiment. So the name of the software is Shut Avoid. First we have to schedule the program. Here I have created a program called as this is a trial. This is the exploration time. That means how much long the rodent needs to explore before it starts. This is ITI, that is inter-trial interval. We have kept it at fixed 30 seconds where the door will be opened at first. Then once the rodent enters inside the guillotine door, there will be a wait stimulus where it will change the side. Maximum time it will wait is for 30 seconds. Now in our setup we do not have light or air puffing external or conditional stimulus. We are going to have an unconditional stimulus, that is mild electric shock. The latency is 30 seconds and the duration of shock is 2 seconds. During the interval the gate will remain closed. Once this is done, it will proceed to the next session. The number of trials or number of session depends on how many animals we are going to perform, how many arms are there in each experiment. After this is done, we are going to click run. Then select one box as boxes select, or only one box is attached. Then we have to select the subject. Here the trial name is I have selected the trial name Malhar. Then we are going to place rat 1, we can name it subject 1, group code for example ABC, experiment code 1A1 example, and comment anything. Passive avoidance test run. Now we are going to start. We have to make sure that the box 1 is checked. Now when we click start, it should say place the rodent or animal. Put all the subjects. Now we are selecting white Sprague-Dawley rat for this experiment. We have placed the rat inside the light environment or the white box. As we see, the guillotine door is now open and we are going to click on start. The exploration time has begun. Now the ITI has begun for 30 seconds and then there will be wait stimulus. Now that the door is closed, after 2 seconds, the shock will be delivered after the weight stimulus. So we know that rodents naturally prefer moving towards the darker environment. Before the stimulus had started, when the rat was placed in the light environment, after some exploration time, he naturally went towards the darker area or the dark box or the dark environment. After reaching inside the box, the gate was closed and unpleasant stimulus 0.5 milliampere shock was delivered to the foot, and that caused unpleasant sensation. The rodent immediately came to the light environment. Now we give a rest period and we place the same rat again into the light environment, and now after the exploration time, we have seen that the latency period, the period needed for the rat to enter again into the dark environment, is now more. That is, now the rat has acquired acquisition memory that moving inside the dark environment causes unpleasant stimulus, so it takes more time to go in. This shows that by negative reinforcement, by providing a painful stimulus, we can see the development of memory. Now if we perform the same experiment tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and the rat exhibits similar properties, then the rat has memory retention, and this is a positive sign for the experiment. In this behavioral model, we can check different kinds of CNS stimulants, memory stimulants, CNS depressants, sedatives, as well as nootropic agents, and we can test how it affects the memory and retention part and acquisition part. That was passive avoidance test. Thank you very much.